Today we're going to go through the McGill Big 3. The McGill Big 3 are exercises that are designed to help stabilize and strengthen your core to really help you improve your spinal health and your posture.
And the reality is that the stronger your core is or your back is, the better and healthier you're going to be. And the reality is most of our patients are not getting injured because they're lifting a big 200-pound rock in their backyard. They're simply bending down to pick up a pair of socks or a laundry basket or a child or a grandchild. So the key part is that the stronger and healthier your back, your core is, the better you will be as a whole.
So let's get into the 3 exercises.
All right, so here's one of those exercises that is crucial for your low back health, the core, and stability. It's called the bird dog. So it can be done on the ground. If you have a yoga mat or if you have a blanket, you can put something down so that it can pad the knees and the wrists a little bit. So Dr. Dan is what we call in what we call the tabletop position. So hands directly underneath the shoulders, knees directly under the hips. Now, what is very important with these exercises is creating stability. So he is going to actually engage his core. He's making his tummy hard here before he does the exercises. The purpose of this exercise is to learn to move our limbs while maintaining stability of the spine. So Dr. Dan's going to move one arm to test arm movement while keeping his core tight. If that's okay, he's going to then test the other arm. And then if that's okay, he's going to test his legs to see how it goes, right? He does one limb at a time. Now, if there's no pain and no problems and you can maintain your balance doing that, then the goal would be to move opposite arm and opposite leg at the same time. And you only hold it for 3 or 4 seconds. The goal is just to show stability. You would bring them down and then you would switch. And if we notice here, his arm and his leg are basically forming a straight line with the torso, right? So we're not lifting the leg too high. We're not letting the arm sag down. We're trying to maintain a straight line across the spine. Now, I also want you to imagine if we had a tray of drinks on his back, the goal would be that he could do this exercise without tilting that tray or losing the drinks. That's kind of like the imagery of stability that we are trying to create. So we usually have our patients do 20 of these, basically 10 per side, daily. All right, this exercise is called the side plank. The side plank is another one of our core stability exercises. And it is a great exercise because it is really good at targeting the lateral muscles of the spine that help to create stability. It's also a great exercise because when somebody has a disc herniation, back pain, or significant back problems, sometimes doing a plank from both elbows and really asking the core to stabilize all the way to the torso can be quite challenging. So by doing this, we're really taking 50% of the load off of the spine and allowing unilateral contraction of the muscles on one side of the spine. So Dr. Dan, again, we're going to do this on the ground, on a yoga mat or a blanket if you need to pad for the elbow and the hips. So the first variation, you notice his knees are bent. So we're going to have him bracing from the knees and the elbow, and if he could do that, he's going to lift his hips up in the air, the goal being trying to get the spine to be in a straight line from the head down to the center of the pelvis. If he can maintain that, he'll hold it there for 20 seconds. If 20 seconds is too much, start with 10 and try to build until you can get 20 to 30 seconds per side. If the knees are easy and you feel like you can handle the next challenge, you notice Dr. Dan straightened his legs. So now his bracing points are going to be the feet or the ankles and the elbow with the same goal. We're trying to get that straight line as much as possible here, really from the center of the face all the way down to the feet. Same thing, we're trying to get 20 to 30 seconds per side. You would flip, perform it on the other side, and then repeat that twice. So you would end up doing 2 side planks per side. All right, this exercise is called the McGill curl up, and it is a great exercise to engage those deep core muscles that help to stabilize the spine. It is challenging, it is very humbling, so take your time and don't be in a hurry to perfect this exercise right away. So Dr. Dan's going to lay on his back. Now he can have both knees bent, he can have one knee bent, whatever is the preference. So when Dr. Dan's lying on his back, you probably can't see the space, but he has the natural curve under his low back here. So what he's going to try and do, and he could put his hands under his back if you prefer to do so you can actually feel it. But the goal of this exercise is to suck the belly button down. It's almost like Dr. Dan is trying to flatten his low back and put pressure onto his hands. And he should actually even feel it into the glutes and the hips. So everything becomes tight, and then you notice he lifted his head and chest, off of the ground. So he did not do a sit-up. He did not bring his head towards his knees. He simply lifted the head and chest towards the ceiling, right? It's a small movement. It is incredibly hard. He holds it for 3 to 4 seconds, relax, and repeat. A good goal would be to try and achieve 10 of these for someone who's a beginner. If you become more advanced and you can get to 20 reps, fantastic. Okay? Again, if you have any questions or if you feel like you're not getting it right, by all means, ask us on your next visit and we can review it with you in office if needed.